This is Stuart Knight, author of the books Marginalizing White Supremacy, Poetic Visions, A Steep Mister for a Sister, and my latest work, A Spirit the World Has Forgotten. And today I want to talk about this FBI memo that came out coining the phrase Black Identity Extremism. Now understand, black people, that this is a scare tactic. It is intended to scare away those black people who are coming into an understanding of how white supremacy works and functions in their daily lives. Now let me break this down for you. The word black is used not only for the title that many black people are beginning to take as the antithesis to white and white supremacy, but the word black worldwide is considered synonymous with everything evil, to be abhorred, and to be rejected. So therefore, that word black is instituted right at the front so that when you see it or when you hear it, you think that that's something to be avoided. Now, identity, that word means that you're coming into consciousness. Any black person who is gaining an understanding of themselves, who goes to the library and checks out books on African history, or a black person who is open and standing up for themselves against, the white supremacist order in this country, that becomes their identity. Or they're saying that you're forming some form of cult-like consciousness and behavior that they can vilify and thus punish you for. Extremism, now that's a tag word that's put on the end to justify their acts in killing you out here in the streets. Because you notice that in many instances, where a lot of black people are being killed, they're doing nothing but standing up and protesting, their rights against being, violated, So in the white supremacist mind, you doing so is an act of extremism in a sense, because you don't want to be violated and you don't want to have your rights taken. Plus also, a lot of times when black people start getting into the knowledge of themselves, they tend to, they tend to get a little angry sometimes, because when you don't know how much of your very essence has been taken from you by white supremacy and you start to learn about it, you tend to get a little angry at first. But as you dig more and more into the history, you become more cultured and understand your power and position in actually, civilizing the entire world. But in those early stages, a lot of black people like to stand out on corners and talk about fuck whitey, and down with the white man and down with America and all things of that such. So they put that tag of extremism on there so that if you're out protesting, the white social order, they can label you as some kind of kook or nut and, violate you and do something to you, That's just a means of them justifying their own animalistic and unnatural behavior, in a sense. Now understand, this, like I said, is a scare tactic, for those black people who are just beginning to come into the knowledge and understanding, to maybe stay away from that, so that way, the white supremacist social order can maintain control. Because everywhere in the media nowadays, you see that black people are rising up. They're coming into a better understanding of how white supremacy not only functions in the media apparatuses, but in their everyday lives as they go about doing work or play. They're calling out those people who are not, in a sense, recognizing their humanity as an individual. So keep up the good work, black people, and don't let the term Black Identity Extremism make you feel frightened or scared. Keep learning about yourself, buttress yourself with a spiritual understanding of your African culture, so that way that label does not fit. And when you call out white supremacy, you do it with a smile. Once again, this is Stuart Knight, author of the books Marginalizing White Supremacy, Poetic Visions, and A Steep Mister for a Sister, and my latest work, A Spirit the World Has Forgotten. Thank you very much. Peace.